Hello, everybody. Not gonna lie, that last song was kind of like, yeah, that one was not planned. I forgot how short Penta's theme song was, so my bad, guys. How y'all doing? Welcome to Respect the Combat. We got a lot to go over today. So much fun stuff going on today. Got a very special guest as always, and oh, hey, Monkey got in right at the perfect time. Now, oh shit. Well, okay, since I accidentally introduced him first. Hi, Monkey. How you doing?
Right at the bell, baby.
Right at
Right
the
at the
bell, right at the
bell.
bell. And then also, of course, Mr. Donnays, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Even though, bruh,
There's
right?
there has been a lot going on this week. Seriously, like a
You
whole
think
lot. Now, speaking of
that
a
put us in
whole lot,
tears?
speaking of a whole lot, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, goats of all ages, today on Respect to Combat. You have seen him on AEW. You have seen him on Ring of Honor. You have seen him on Freelance Wrestling, Greektown Wrestling, GCW, Black Label Pro, IWC, AIW, and many other promotions around the globe. He is a two-time AEW Intense Champion. He is a one-time IWC Tag Team Champion and a one-time AEW Tag Team Champion. He is Mr. Maserati Wes Barkley. How are you doing today?
Yes, sir. What a great intro, brother. I'm great. That just made my Friday. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to get after it. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I am so excited, as you could probably tell, that you are on here today.
Hell yeah.
Seriously, it means a lot that in your very busy schedule that you made time to be on here.
Well,
Seriously,
thank
it
you.
really means a
Yeah.
lot.
No, I appreciate you having me on.
And honestly, guys, you guys are going to love this guy. Seriously, he's going to be a lot of fun. Now, with all that being said, are you all ready to hop into these mainstream highlights?
Let's do it.
Now, did you guys think in 2025 we'd be having so many WWE AAA collabs? I mean, obviously the collabs were going to be coming because of the fact that they announced the whole partnership. But Jesus Christ, like in the past, whenever WWE has tried to do like partnerships like this, like not like with like the one they have currently with TNA, but like when Vince used to try to do stuff, it really wasn't ever doing well. Now, I absolutely love what they're doing here. Like, one, we sent over El Grande Americano there, a German man who speaks
Which
better
one?
Spanish than 3/4 of their roster, where I'm just like, and everyone here, by the way, that's confused about that, just so you know, people that live in Germany, they usually have to learn about 3 or 4 different languages in school. So that's the reason why he knows Spanish. But, like, I even became a fan of the character off of that promo at the last AAA show. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like, as long as Kaiser remains as El Grande Americano and we don't go back to Chad Gable, I'm okay with that. But now Dominic over there and that pop he got, like, oh my
gosh!
God, he is over in Mexico. And
Considering his
Belts off Dom
godfather,
well, yeah, his godfather Eddie.
no, Conan's his godfather.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his godfather's Conan. I'm sorry. His Eddie's the unnamed.
His daddy's Eddie.
Now,
Shut up.
Sorry, Monkey says things out of place. Now, how do you all feel about this Fatal 4-Way that got announced for Triple Mania next week?
Are we sure it's just a Fatal 4-Way, or is it a 6-man? Because El Grande has multiplied to include the New Czech Republic.
Okay, we have to talk about this for a second. How many of them are there? Or is there going to be like an El Grande cult?
I find this to be the perfect balance to this to the Samoan Tongan problem that we got going on in the WWE.
Oh, shut up!
We need more Americanos in WWE. I'm okay with it.
So to balance the bloodline and the MFTs
Yes.
on SmackDown, your 4 underutilized talent dubbing the mask.
Okay.
On Raw.
Right. We're gonna move on here before this gets any possibly more racist and we get kicked off.
Americanos.
Hulk Hogan's cause of death was confirmed as a heart attack, which I believe that's what most of us thought. I know that he was in the hospital because he was having a problem with one of his valves that got replaced, and that was what initially was causing issues with his heart. It's still a very unfortunate situation. He did have his funeral service this past week. From what I was told, it was a very beautiful service. Everyone enjoyed it very much so. And honestly, I mean, look, I'll say this again, like I did last week. No human being is perfect. All right. People make mistakes. It's a matter of if you take responsibility for said mistakes and move on from them in a positive manner. Now, to everyone on the internet that's, wanting to hop down people's throat about, showing their respect to the legacy of Hulk Hogan, get bent. I mean, that's really
Fuck
the best
those
I can say to
nerds.
it. I understand everyone's
Fucking
got their own
dorks.
feelings on it. Everyone's got their own emotions on it. But I mean, look, everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Mhm.
And I mean, look, I got friends that are liberals. I got friends that are independent. It does not matter that just because someone has a difference of opinion from you, that means you guys can't talk. I mean, obviously there's some serious situations where it's like, if somebody walks up to you and it's like, I think that kid looks kind of attractive. No, that is never something I will tolerate. Like, there are certain things you don't tolerate,
Yeah.
but like, it's just, look, it's someone that we all grew up on. Did Terry Bollea do some fucked up shit? Yes. But that doesn't take away from the legacy of Hulk Hogan. It doesn't take away that if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, that Hulk Hogan and a lot of the other people in the early 80s and late 80s, wrestling wouldn't be as popularized as it is today.
100%. Even the 90s too with the NWO, and even when he came back during the Ruthless Aggression era, my 2 cents is, like you said, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I'm so grateful that I got to meet him last year. He gave me some really good advice, and I'm so glad I got to meet him, now looking back on it. But yeah, I thought what they did on, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all the pay-per-views was awesome. And it is pretty crazy to think about that, he had so much knowledge that hopefully WWE has footage of him talking about things. But if you look at like I think the thing came out about the first 10 WrestleManias that Bret Hart, Ted DiBiase, and there was one more, the only three that are still alive. And that's pretty crazy to think, it's like it's a whole generation. Like, it's monumental. Hulkster was an icon for 40 years in all pop culture. So, yeah, it's just crazy. And I hope more people, like you're saying, can kind of just, learn from some of the stuff he was doing, or see, how much he helped the wrestling industry. So that's just my 2 cents.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
The only
And
thing I'm gonna say about this shit is I'm tired of bringing it up every fucking week and apologizing for respecting a motherfucking legend, bro. Hey,
There you go.
get bent, fucking nerds. All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's
In the discussion there.
I mean, honestly, I think me and him should start having, like, remember when Key and Peele used to have like the Barack Obama segments where it was just like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm the professional one, and then you're the unfiltered answer.
There it is.
Yeah.
I got you. I know what my role is here.
Now,
Oh my gosh.
something that we've all been wondering for a couple of years. I mean, some more than others. I really wasn't. I mean, I've always been curious, but it's not like something where I'm like, I need to know. Cody Rhodes finally shedded some light on why him and Brandy ended up leaving AEW. Now, I ended up watching this episode, and his exact wording was great. I mean, he didn't go into too much detail about it because honestly, like, whatever personally happened between him and AEW, look, that's between them two. Fuck Dave Meltzer, by the way.
Yes.
And I mean, he left it simply at this. There's a difference between if you feel disrespected at a company where you're one in a million and you're just, on a roster where there's multiple other people that are feeling disrespected, and feeling disrespected by a company that you co-founded. There's a huge difference. And I mean, I could even understand that being a business owner. I mean, all of us could understand that from
Yes.
a business sense. Like, there's a difference between being on a roster of like hundreds and hundreds of people and then being like, look, it's just not working out. And then being given the short end of the stick by your business partner.
For sure.
There's
Life is all about risks, but pro wrestling's all about risks. And kind of like going off Hulk Hogan, you got to really put it all out there and put it on the table. And Cody did that when he started AEW, and he made opportunities for so many wrestlers and a whole product. And just that risk alone is something to be proud of. But to do that and have those feelings, I think I was at Cody's last AEW match. I believe it was in Cleveland, and I was lucky enough to be an extra that day. And I might have had a match on Dark if I remember correctly, but just getting to see him there and getting to watch him wrestle there, it was, you could tell that he was so driven and he wanted to, be the top guy in pro wrestling. And we've seen it on this run since he came back to WWE. So, yeah, Cody is definitely, the upper of upper echelons. And yeah, it's just, you got to trust your gut and go with what you're feeling. And you don't want to sit somewhere like you just said and be, disrespected or not feel like you're, valued, I guess would be the word. So, but some people do that. Some people stay. We see that all the time with different talent upset with their spots.
Cody's
And
brother.
yeah, exactly. It takes a risk, man. You got to take that risk and do it. And so, yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I mean, I always like to say life is nothing but a big risk when it
There you
comes
go,
to
brother.
what you want to do.
100%.
I mean, that's just how it is, really. And I mean, that's really one thing that wrestling has taught me is that if you want to get anywhere, like you got to take some risk.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm not talking about any type of Diddy style risk, but I mean,
Hey, yo.
but like what I am meaning is like, sometimes like there are going to be times where it's like, hey, look, brother, I need you to put the better foot forward here. But if you do, there are going to be like millions and millions of connections for you. Like, I'll be completely honest. Like when I took on the NWA job and I built out the website for him, I was told, hey, look, we just kind of like, this is something we just need built out and we're trying to find a guy. But they did say to me, they're like, look, if you do it, we'll hire you, we'll pay you. And I was like, let's do it, because it was an opportunity I've wanted since I graduated from Full Sail in 2016. I've wanted to work in the wrestling industry in some way, shape, or form.
There you go.
And so I always told myself, I'm like, if I get an opportunity, even if I have to do it for free, I don't care. I'm going to do it. And it's like, there's other people where they're like, oh, well, I have worked for this place and this place and this place, and I have worked for this man, and I've been paid X amount of dollars. You need to respect me. And it's just like, no, bro, no. Like one thing I've definitely learned is that you always got to be humble. Always, always, always got to be humble.
100%. 100%.
You can never act like you know it all, because the second you start acting like you know it all, well, guess what? Now it's just woo. I've just seen it way too many times, just like with friends, with family. And I mean, okay, now I'm getting a little off topic here. We're not talking about wrestling anymore. Now it sounds like a therapy session. Sorry. Coming from Jonathan Gresham on Twitter, he will be out for 2 to 4 weeks, suffered 2 stroke. Whoa.
Yeah, that was one thing I did miss on the mainstream, but Gresham.
Well, thank you, Irving, for pointing that out. Irving is normally on our podcast, but he's busy with work right now. Thank you, Irving. Shout out to Irving for getting us that breaking news. Holy shit.
Yeah,
are you sure
so
he's only going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks?
Yeah. So Jordan legit left NXT on Tuesday and flew right out to Austin and got there because she saw the Ring camera of him getting carted out the house.
Jeez.
Oh,
that's terrible.
And he had posted the photo of what Jordan saw and got there just as they were about to check him into surgery.
That's terrible. I hope he's doing all right, and I'll be thinking about him. He's a great dude, and I've gotten to share a few locker rooms with him. Always been a super professional dude, super talented in the ring, definitely unique, and he's been grinding. So that's terrible to hear, and I hope he's doing all right, and we'll be thinking about him.
That's
Yeah.
That's a crazy prognosis time? 2 to 4 weeks. That's a crazy estimate for 2 to
Yeah,
4
Yeah.
I would think more like 2 to 4 months after a stroke.
Yeah, and he said 2 strokes in the last week where he had to get hospitalized.
That's usually like out for year
He needs to
brain
rest.
activity type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to rest before, like, because if he overworks himself, then he could, yeah. And
Yeah.
The risk of a
we don't want
stroke
that to happen.
increases by 25% each stroke you
Can
have.
we just say push Jordan Grace so he doesn't have to worry about it?
Yeah, push Jordan Grace so that then she can take care of her man.
There you go.
Give her
There
the
you go.
belt so she can get a nice little raise. People buy her merch. We are now plugging Jordan Grace every episode in honor of Jonathan Gresham.
Yep.
Now, per WrestleVotes, while his role in the Street Fighters movie is confirmed to be more involved than Cody's, Roman Reigns is slated to only miss the week of September 8th to September 26th if filming does not get delayed. So you're telling
they
me
will
this
not
man's
miss
going to be
Cody at all.
simultaneously filming Street Fighter and TV?
That's
Well,
how
he's
the
only
business work,
booked
Eric.
for 2 Raws coming up, so
Okay. What'd you
it
say,
all depends
Monkey?
on how many more sneakers of his
Oh,
Bronson
Jesus
Reed steals. Because he's already stolen $400 worth.
So, like, what's gonna happen what's gonna happen? Like, after he finally beats him, then he gets all of his sneakers back?
I mean, Bronson
but how
Reed is
long
about to
you
get
want-
Raging Demon up his asshole.
How long you want him to walk around in motherfucking socks for? Yeah, of course he's only gonna miss a week.
Oh dear God, I could see it now. It's gonna be a socks on a pole. It's gonna be a sneakers on a pole match. First one to climb the ladder and get the sneakers.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Welcome back, Mr. Russo.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
No,
hey, you have to
Roman's
admit
the
that.
man. Yeah, I was gonna say Roman's the man. He is, probably the greatest champion if you're talking about numbers. He beat all the records and he was he put the company on his back for so long, and I'm so glad he's getting some more mainstream crossover appeal because that helps the wrestling industry. And yeah, it's just that small stuff that people kind of forget, all the press you have to do. And, you know, we've heard Hulk say it. I don't mean to keep going back to him, but when you're on the top like that, you got to have people that can keep up with you if you're gonna try to, run the, be the top guy. So for Roman to have those belts and do that all during COVID and all that, and wrestling in front of no crowds, to drawing mainstream attention, to the Fast and the Furious, it was like Hobbs or whatever that movie was with Rock. And now it's huge. It's huge for we see it, more times you're on TV, you're going to commercials, you see like a Tostitos chip commercial doing wrestling. So it's like the more wrestling can come mainstream, the more eyes is on wrestling, the more eyes on wrestling, the more eyes on independent wrestling, and that helps the industry as a whole with, everything. So I
Do you
love
know
it.
how
Exactly.
fucking cool I find it as a sports fan that Seth Rollins is almost like a weekly appearance on the Rich Eisen show?
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely.
I turn on NFL Network. I see Good Morning Football. Seth Rollins or The Miz or CM Punk is on there talking
Awesome.
about football. Like, this
Definitely.
is good crossover shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That and the
it is
100%.
fact
over.
that and the fact you look at Cody and Bianca's face and you could easily drink your orange juice.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, the sponsorships deals that they're doing is crazy now. I mean, they got sponsorships with C4. Although I'm not sure how. Okay, not this past year's WrestleMania, but Philadelphia. You guys remember the tag match, Roman Reigns and Rock versus Cody and Seth? Whose idea was it
Yes.
to have that match sponsored by Dude Wipes?
I thought it was the Dom one.
No, it was that one.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I remember me and Monkey were dying laughing. Like, I'm sorry, who's the sponsor?
That's awesome. That's good.
It's like, are you guys like insinuating something to The Rock?
So the main event of one night of your biggest show of the year was sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Yes.
Moving on.
Hey, they paying out there, bro. What are you talking about?
Yep. You can't beat that.
Right. Now,
Oh my gosh.
Forbidden Door at the O2 Arena is set for August 24th with only 2 matches fully able to be advertised. Both are comprised of solely talents that are contracted under the Khan family. And what we mean by that is that it's AEW versus ROH or so on and so forth. Because I think the only 2 matches right now confirmed are Tony Storm versus Athena, and then Okada versus Swerve, right?
Yep. Those are the only 2 fully confirmed. Everything else is like, oh, hey, we're going to have a tournament to decide who's fighting Mercedes, or a tournament to decide who's fighting the Hurt Syndicate, which is an all AEW tournament because of the G1 right now.
True.
And it's like, what are we doing?
I mean, they already sold over 14,000 tickets for it.
Because you only go to that market maybe once or twice a year.
Well, yeah, it's smart. Smart. You make them want it.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great show, top to bottom. They had a great episode of Dynamite last week in Cleveland. They did a lot of things that are culminating on that show. I believe it seemed like just from being there. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be there backstage and hanging out. And that was my first time back in AEW in about 8 months. So I'm so grateful for that company, and they always treated me so well. And getting to be around guys from past, present, and future. It's awesome and it's so inspiring. So I think Forbidden Door will be a great show, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So you've been behind the scenes at AEW a few times, right?
Yeah, I've been to AEW, and I've done a few WWEs this year as well too.
How's their backstage culture, in your opinion?
It's great. So personally, there's a lot of guys that are on the roster that I've been on shows with coming up through the indies, right? So that is the biggest difference for me personally between AEW and WWE. I have more guys that, it's not just like we're acquaintances. I got a lot of friends there, so makes, right there, the ice is broken. I got a lot of people to talk to. Luckily as well too, I've been wrestling for 7 years, but throughout my whole 7 years, I've done seminars with all different guys, right? I've gotten to do seminars with Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson, recently Steve Corino, Jamie Noble, Chris Hero on Tuesday, Sanjay Dutt, and the AEW guys specifically, getting to see them backstage. It's another guy I can talk to and kind of pick their brain. But yeah, it's just there's so much going on, and being that close to it is so inspiring. But it's definitely a relaxed environment. Sure, there is some stress. We're on live TV, and the show's getting put together, and you never know what can happen with flights and people getting there. But it's a really awesome. I've been there, for probably the past 4 years, and every time I go, I just get more comfortable, which is great. And they always treat me good, like I was saying. But definitely a relaxed, awesome environment.
Like one of the first people on this show that I've heard, which is refreshing.
Yeah.
Heard, give a positive report on AEW backstage.
Oh, definitely.
Asked that question because I was
definitely.
Like, you seem positive about AEW. I'm like, all right, cool. We
yeah.
finally get somebody on the other side of the fence.
For sure. And again, like I'm not there every week, so I might be in a different mindset if I'm there every week. But I've gotten to do some where I've been there back to back or a couple weeks in a row, and it's just like it's awesome. And again, they treat everyone really well. They take care of everybody, and it's some of the best wrestlers in the world. Getting to see Mox around, getting to see, it was MJF and Mark Briscoe on Wednesday with Hangman coming out. So it's like, seeing Jeff Jarrett. It's like these guys are all superstars, and being around that, you always pick something up. And if it's way more lax to talk to people. I've been lucky enough to talk to people at WWE, but it just seemed a little more chill that you could pick more people's brains and whatnot. So,
hell yeah.
Now I do have a random.
That's actually cool. I've never gotten that kind of a report. I thought they would be more like.
I mean, it's business. We're at work. At the end of the day, you're at work, but it's especially like those collisions too. Sometimes they film them a little early, so people are getting in and just kind of. It's a great camaraderie there, and really a team. I felt like that is really trying to put on the best shows and provide an alternative, which is awesome.
Hell yeah! All right,
yes, sir.
Heard it. You finally heard it. All right, some of that shit is just.
100%. 100%.
Tabloid material.
Now I do have one question though, just from one of our previous guests. Are the Crustables the most popular at the catering?
Man, that's crazy you brought that up, because I've been craving one because I didn't get any on Wednesday. That's so crazy you brought that up, dude. And then yesterday I was on the road. We were in West Virginia. And we were coming back, and like, dude, all I wanted was freaking some Uncrustables. And I was just like out of it. We're driving at like 3 in the morning. I just grabbed a couple waters and Josh came out, Josh Bishop, my tag partner, my dude, Rip City. He's killing it too. He's fucking Slammiversary, all that. But he comes out finishing Uncrustable. I'm like, oh my God, I should have got one. That's all I wanted this week. So yeah, they're phenomenal. Yes, sir.
Oh
I
my
asked that.
gosh.
No, I asked that because I had Ben on here back in April, Ben Bishop,
Uh-huh.
and when he was on here, that was the one thing he wouldn't stop talking about was like, oh, if you love Uncrustables, he's like, you need to get to him quick. It's definitely most popular. He's like, if you don't
Facts.
get him to him quick, they will be gone.
100%.
So
100%.
yeah,
That's facts.
that's funny. Now, speaking on AEW, Buddy Matthews did go into surgery this week on his ankle. I know that may sound a little depressing, but to all the men out there, at least he got to have his wife, Rhea Ripley, right by his side while he
Good
was
point.
having it done. So, I mean, at least that's something he gets to say on a regular
Definitely.
basis. What, Monkey?
Definitely.
Why do you look so salty?
Buddy Matthews is the second luckiest man on earth next to Karrion Kross.
And that's why I put it in there. Thanks, Monkey.
Oh my God. Yeah, even when Karrion was like on Twitter being like, yeah, I may not be on WrestleMania, but at least I get to wake up to a naked Scarlet every day.
Can't go wrong, dude. Perspective is key. And that
Right?
perspective.
Look, it's goals. All right. Look, you gotta have
100%.
goals.
100%. There you go.
Now, pre-sale tickets for Full Gear will be going on sale starting on August 21st. And that will be heading back to the Prudential Center in New Jersey. Was that where the first one was?
I
don't remember.
believe so.
I believe the first Full Gear was at the Prudential Center, right? I think so.
Yeah.
I may be wrong. Don't quote me. And if you do, well, sorry. Now, can we talk about this Nikki Bella Becky Lynch freaking promo on Monday? That shit. Oh my! I was watching that on repeat. Like that was so funny because
I'm surprised Becky didn't talk about her chest getting caved in. Or shall I say her implant getting caved in.
That was the scripted version of the Charlotte Tiffany promo.
Yes.
No, but for real though, like, because I remember Donnaise when you told me that they were planning on making her Becky's next opponent. I'm like, why? Why? Like, I hated the idea at first, and then I watched the promo, and I'm like, God damn it! And I'm like,
and
stop!
That's
like,
why a good promo is so fucking important because it can make you give a shit about a match you would otherwise hate.
Yes.
Bingo.
There you go. There you
Yes. And like, I mean, honestly, anytime shit like that happens, I mean, Donnaise, like our freaking executive producer, we call him Keebler. Anytime some shit like that happens, I'm just like, God damn it, Keebler.
Exactly.
Like, I remember on SummerSlam night 1, I was so salty when Seth like dropped the crutches, took off the knee brace. I'm like, you fucking bit. I'm like, because he was playing us up the whole time. Like, oh yeah, he's got a torn
got played up from
right. Like he was getting so specific
The
on his
return of
injuries.
kayfabe.
And I'm just like, you son of a
got
bitch.
had for a month. And we're going to talk about that in a bit, too, because we're recapping SummerSlam. But, oh my gosh, we got had for a month on that.
We all
The
got had
return
on
of
that.
kayfabe.
Like, oh my God. But anyway, before we get off topic, seriously though, that are you guys now intrigued by Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella?
Yes. Even though to get there, we're going to get Becky and Natalia after we had Becky and Maxine next week.
Wait, Maxine's getting a title shot?
Yeah.
No, Maxine is getting the first crack at Becky.
Yeah, Becky's bullying Maxine.
Why does everyone always got to bully Maxine?
Well, I mean, she is.
go. Yeah, that's not cool. No, bullying's not cool, especially for Maxine. That's not cool.
No, like, why does everyone always got to go after her?
The only reason that happened is because Natty got in her face about it. So it's Becky versus the Total Divas era.
Oh no.
Have you seen Maxine?
That's how they're presenting it. It's Becky versus Total
Maxine
Divas.
She's improving.
Yeah, no. Have you seen her pouty face? Her little face?
Yeah, it makes me want to cry every time.
Oh, it's
like
so
literally
adorable.
when she found.
Listen, it's so adorable. In fact, it's adorable to a point where I would bully her more just to get it. more
Oh
often.
my gosh.
Oh, dude, you're just
I'm kidding.
You are psycho
you're
for
terrible.
that.
That's just
I
terrible. If
I
you
thought I
get
was
banned,
watching
it's
an
because
episode
of
of
you.
Home Improvement the second they zoomed in on
I am the
Maxine's face
heel
the
of the
second
show.
she
Thank you.
realized what was going on.
Yeah, like I thought it was gonna be all sentimental for once, and I was like, "Oh, hey, look, Monkey's being sentimental." And then I'm like, "Oh, wait, never mind."
There it is. To be continued. Let's go.
Now, probably I have to say the quickest comeback and cancellation I've ever seen in the professional wrestling industry ever. Joey Ryan I say was going to make his professional wrestling return in Portland. And then 3 hours
Oh,
later,
no.
that same promotion announced that they were no longer booking Joey Ryan and they refunded his booking fee because of the negative backlash that they received.
Frame one. Frame one.
Guess that's what canceled in the wrestling world looks like, huh?
Bruh.
I mean,
Speaking
dude,
out movement to the highest degree. He was one of the first ones named.
what's worse though is like, okay, if you think about some other people that have actually been named in the Speak Out movement, like for example, Marty Skrull, he still wrestles and he's still able to get work. Travis, I can't remember his name. He was part of WWE at one point.
Yeah.
He still gets some work. And then there's a few other people that have gotten work, but the difference is that they have taken responsibility for what they've done again, and at the same time though, they're not getting TV deals anytime soon. Like WWE, AEW, like they're going to get from now on probably is indie bookings. However, though, Joey Ryan is in a whole different spectrum from those guys because he's been trying to use that story to exploit and get more attention, which is just disgusting. And I mean, the worst part is I used to be a Joey Ryan fan. And then
Same.
after all of this came out and then I saw how he actually was as a person, I was like, okay, well, yeah, fuck this guy. Just because, I mean, look, you could be Donald fucking Trump for all I care. If I think you're a piece of shit human being, you're a piece of shit human being. And that's just that.
Yes.
And I'm a Trump supporter. But I'm like, you know, there's just certain things that you just should not do. And I mean, actually, I should take that back. I'm a Trump supporter very lightly, just with certain things that have been coming to light lately. I'm now leaning more towards independent. But
Okay, before we get political here.
Yeah, don't need to get political here.
We had that
but,
show last night, and you decided not to be on it. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, have you ever worked with Joey?
He was on one AIW show we had. It was probably in 2019, and it was cordial. I didn't even see the stuff you guys were talking about. It must have been quicker than I could see it get announced and taken down. But I really don't think about the negativity in wrestling and just try to push as much positivity as possible and make the scene, or at least everything I control. I think the old saying is like, you want to make wrestling better than when you found it, right? Is what people say. So
Right.
I just always try to help as much people out as I can. I don't know a lot, but I try to help younger guys with what I got. And my goal right now is just to learn from guys that, have been around for a while. And that is something to say itself if they've been around for a while, if you know what I mean.
Of course. I completely understand.
But be a good person is at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
100%.
As simple as that.
Now, one thing that we will say, because I don't believe it was Meltzer or Sapp that put out this report, but whoever it was that put out this report trying to get clicks, no, Charles Robinson is not dead. Yes,
right.
Charles Robinson is alive and well. He is still kicking.
And running.
Yes, still running to the ring.
That dude is running.
Into 275-pound, 50-year-old men with bad knees.
There you go. If anything would have took him out, it would have been that.
Yeah.
Now, the thing, I just can't stand certain people that put out like stuff like this just to try to get clicks. Like,
yeah,
I mean, just even when it comes to like fake stories and whatnot. I mean, even when you're trying to
Crazy.
get into people's personal lives, like freaking, I remember a few months ago, I had to call out Meltzer because he was like getting too involved, in my opinion, in Britt Baker's personal relationship
Bingo.
issues with Adam
Right.
Cole and like stuff like that. Just it's like, guys, I understand that they are quote unquote celebrities, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a right to privacy. Like they still
100%.
have
100%.
100% right to privacy.
Hundred
Like,
percent. I think my saying on that, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think a
you're
lot
good.
of those guys you mentioned need to do their laundry. They got too many dirty sheets, if you know what I'm saying. So
I
Yeah.
that's my
100%
that's
get
those
what
two
you're
guys.
saying.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I get
But Britt's
100%
the
what you're
homie.
saying.
Britt's the homie, and it's just like this. Like we're really close. We trained together when she was like on her way to AEW and stuff, and
Oh,
I
I
got
did
a
not
solid
realize that.
relationship with her. Yeah, we had a couple cool moments together. When this probably was like 2 years ago, she came back and made a big surprise for AIW, and we had like a little tag match, and Chelsea Green was involved, and Matt Cardona was involved, and it was a really special moment. And having Britt come back, I could tell it was special for her, and just the stuff she's had to go through. It's wild. Kind of like you were saying, even though they're celebrities, it's just like wrestling fans are ruthless. They like what they like and they don't like what they don't like. And Britt is, worked so hard for AEW since the start, and I think has really, brought such another level to their women's division that
Hmm.
it's just sad when you see people online, just like you just said, you hit it right on the head. They're just posting stuff, especially about her, for clicks, and it's just brutal. And you got to remember she's a human and she's just like us. She gets up every morning and works and loves wrestling. So
Exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I understand like with some of these guys, that's how they make their money. But in my opinion, you should
right,
probably find some other way to make your money. That's just
yep,
my
and
opinion.
Bingo.
do their laundry and do the laundry.
And do the laundry and learn what
Yeah.
deodorant is.
There you go.
That too.
Now, something this
Nice.
week I was very, very happy to see is that Eddie Kingston is finally back in the ring and he is back to training after his broken leg last year. Dude, that was a long recovery. And
100%.
That's the dude that like had his shit all reversed, right?
wait, that had what?
That had his shit.
No,
Okay.
Eddie
Never
broke
mind.
it off of a suplex
Okay.
that
I'm thinking
where his leg
of
collided with the guardrail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nasty, nasty.
Oh, okay. I
Kinks
remember that. All right, all right. I remember that. I remember seeing a video of that.
Kingston was my first official singles match I've ever had. It was here
Ooh.
at AIW. Yeah, that was I was a few weeks into wrestling and I had that match and he beat the shit out of me, but it was a big learning experience and the fact that I survived is why I think I've gotten to where I'm at right now. But Kingston's the man. Always was one of my favorites growing up. I'm so glad to see him doing well. It's awesome to see him in AEW. He's, the realest dude I've ever met, I would say, and just how much he grinded on the independents and everything he's been through to be in AEW, to crushing it in AEW, all those big moments. That picture still stands out when he came out all bloody with the gas can. It's like that stuff's so cool, and seeing him, getting crazy, the whole venue cheering him. It's like I know he can do that, but just seeing that as a friend and a fan is awesome. So to see him back in the ring and working out really hard, eating good, I'm excited for what's next for Kingston, and super grateful for him.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine the pop he's gonna get when he returns. That
I
crowd's
was
gonna
about to
lose their
say
mind.
Yeah,
his pop is going to be massive, especially if it's against the Deaf Riders, just because
I
his
was
history
there you
with
actually
go.
gonna
Mox.
say,
Right.
what if that's what if that's what it's building towards? With how Mox is
Eddie's.
having all these random singles matches and he's literally killing people.
Yeah.
I mean, Yuta got kidnapped for whatever reason on Wednesday, so obviously the Darby one's going to be first.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah,
Darby will be
I heard that
first.
horn. I heard that horn and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I saw Yuta in that bag. And I was just like, uh-oh, I'm glad he's all right. And that's when I was, that is the exact moment I was looking for those Uncrustables. I'm not gonna lie. So weird, weird,
It's just like, all right.
weird
It's like, all
timing. I was
right,
like,
make
oh,
sure
you,
is okay or get an
yeah,
Uncrustable.
yeah. I
Uncrustable.
tried to sneak over the route. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You almost got caught on camera, like, oh, my.
For sure. For sure.
That's funny. Oh God. No, I mean honestly, like they've been doing like I have to admit, like the last like since the build up to All In Texas, they've actually been doing some good booking. They really have. And I have to admit the product is improving a lot. Even that whole what was it? Like the whole stuff that they got going on with Matt and Nick right now. That is hilarious. I
You
love
mean
it.
Max and Jeremy?
Oh my
Yeah. I saw
I
that.
can't
I was
believe
like,
they
who's
actually
that?
did that.
Yeah, it's a
Freaking
trip.
calling him Max and Jeremy, being like, "Oh hey, Generation Me's here."
Yes.
Right. Right.
I love it.
Yeah. You hit it
What
on the head though.
royalty-free music did they get for the Bucks theme?
I remember
Oh my
hearing
God,
that
that's
and
what they
wondering
do?
backstage. I was like, what is going on right now? But no, you hit it on the head. AEW's doing something really cool right now. They got a lot of talented writers and producers backstage and, some of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. And it's not going to happen overnight, but they're grinding and they're trying to put their best product forward and things are rolling and you guys are seeing it and the venues are looking good and the shows are looking good and we're seeing new talent. We're seeing special matchups. We're seeing some spicy stuff. So it's awesome to be a wrestling fan.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right now, I would say is the best time to be a wrestling fan
For sure. And a wrestler.
and a wrestler. Yes.
Yep.
Now, Bully Ray is comparing the sudden rise in demand of Karrion Kross to the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was something you put in, Dunne. So
Fair.
explain.
So he was on. So they were discussing Cross's future, obviously on Busted Open, and Bully compared. Oh, if they let him go, it would be on that level, and you almost have to apply like because Cross has been getting a lot of reaction, his book's been getting a lot of traction. You almost have to have his evolution grow to that level. Is
Yeah.
what
Cross.
Bully was getting to.
Yeah. Cross is, dude, you could see how creative he is. And I was lucky enough to, pick his brain at a Raw and I was just a huge fan of him when he was on the Independents. It was like right when I was starting out training and stuff, and I was just kind of seeing what's going on. And you mentioned him earlier, Conan and Disco Inferno, their podcast. They would always talk about this guy, Killer Cross out in Future Stars of Wrestling in Las Vegas. So I got hip to him, and I loved his work, and I really liked his promos and just how he was so great at storytelling. And I kind of was just picking his brain about that stuff. And he's like, if you're just being you and real, people can't steal that. So then a few weeks later, he had that big press conference promo and I go, that's exactly what he's talking about because he's just being real and he's just telling how he feels. But he's super talented in the ring. You mentioned that Bully Ray is talking about him. Bully Ray is another underrated guy that, a lot of people hate on him. He's a polarizing figure for sure, but he has a really unreal amount of wrestling knowledge. And at this very moment, I have the last Dudley Boys match. It's going to change with the Hardy Boys, but the last match they did was in Pittsburgh for IWC at the Ross Traver Garden where ECW used to run. And it was Bully Ray and Devon, right? The Team 3D, the Dudley Boys, versus me and Derek Dillinger. And then they brought out Elias or Elijah now. And then we had another guy, Kane and Christopher, who was a local dude that, we had to even the odds. But right now I took the last 3D ever. They broke me in half. I broke a couple ribs. But until that Hardy Boys match, I'm standing on that. So I just wanted to get that in when I hear Bully Ray get brought up,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even though Eric kind of hates him right now,
Uh-oh.
Why do I hate him?
Why do we hate Bully?
you're a Zilla fan.
Oh,
Right.
he'll
They
get to
did their
that.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, the comparison to Stone Cold's hype is pretty fair when you consider how the turnover from WCW to ECW went with
Yeah.
Stone Cold and the begrudging, like, I hate those guys attitude.
Yeah.
Now imagine if they let that go to AEW.
Right.
Yikes.
Mm. Or not just AEW. We have to think TNA and a bunch of other promotions right now would
The
have
reason I
the
think AEW is because I think AEW would throw the most cash at them.
okay.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Now, according to Conan on Keeping It 100, working with WWE is helping their production value and is like working with professionals. Well, obviously. I mean, they're like the tippy top of the top when it comes to the wrestling industry.
Yep.
And there is obviously some people on the AAA roster they have their eyes on, Mr. Iguana. They're very obviously looking at him. And
Yeah.
then they're getting new rings now through the WWE, which is great,
Oh
which
wow.
I'm sure the wrestlers greatly appreciate that.
Heck,
And say it? What were you saying?
so when Lola Vice did that random appearance for AAA, that's when she was telling him like the rings are actually harder because
Yeah,
this was before that, and that was
Wow.
like, oh wow, like
yeah.
prompted his mind like, oh yeah, we need to upgrade our equipment, and they they are and will be getting more equipment through WWE, and it's just been a blessing. And
Oh yeah.
heck, we might have a Susio for AAA Mega Champion by the end of next couple of weeks.
Yes,
Wow.
which that's the other great thing about this partnership is now Triple Mania will be streaming live on WWE's YouTube
Hey,
for free.
that's awesome because I try to watch that show every year.
Same.
Triple A is one of my favorites. For a while. Like I've really enjoyed their stuff. I always wanted to wrestle there. It's still one of my big goals is to get there. Now with the merger, it's different now for sure. But I think kind of like you just said, and it's just a big opportunity. You kind of brought it up earlier with Grande Americano that it's just an awesome opportunity to see that crossover, giving people different options and places to wrestle at. And again, it goes back to that worldwide mainstream culture of seeing these guys show up in different places and getting different eyes on you. But at the end of the day, like just going back to me, it's like I love Lucha Libre. I thought AAA is just a legacy brand, and Conan being there is I think crucial. But to have that production level go up, and again, like you just said, with YouTube being able to stream Triple Mania, that's going to bring a whole different amount of eyes in there, and they might watch it and see Mr. Iguana and love him, or they might see Psycho Clown or Pagano or these guys, Sam Adonis, and just fall in love with them, and that helps those guys out as well too. So I love it. It's still one of my high goals is to get down there to Mexico and AAA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean AAA has always been one of my favorites as well. I always honestly liked watching the product.
Yeah.
And I was super excited when I heard about the partnership between WWE and AAA because I could only imagine now that the quality of the product now is going to go up.
Yeah, and Worlds
Oh
Collide was
yeah,
awesome. That was awesome. So, hopefully it's more of that, which was really cool.
100%. Now,
even though I think that's the match that took out Chad Gable more than anything.
I think so too, yeah.
He had to wrestle twice too, which is crazy. Allegedly, right? He's the one guy and the other guy,
Allegedly.
right? Yeah.
He was the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the original. Twice
Now,
the
Yeah.
same day.
Now, some news coming out of TNA. Rich Swann is back in TNA, and Casey Navarro did tear his ACL and was written off. Basically, the way I'm not really sure how I feel about this, but I feel like it's going to lead to Casey Navarro coming back and then being all like, oh, and a feud maybe. But pretty much, they
Now, does he feud with Swan or AJ?
both.
Okay, who ends up the partner then?
Mm, I'm sure they'll find
All right.
somebody.
All right.
But then here's the one that kind of surprised me, though. Mike Santana is going to have a one-on-one match with Sami Callihan. And if Mike Santana wins, Sami Callihan says he will retire from in-ring competition.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's very interesting.
It's very interesting to me also.
So he's been going through this whole, and this is a spawn from the Moose match he had a few weeks ago. He's been going through this whole doubting himself character arc, and he said to get back into world title contention, I have to beat this guy, Mike Santana. And if I can't, I'm done.
Right.
And considering
That's
he's a former Triple Crown winner in TNA, what else does he have to do?
yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what pans out.
Yeah.
That's got my attention though.
I was
And
gonna
that's next
say,
weekend.
Yeah.
that definitely has my attention now.
Right.
Better
Spicy.
than the Knockouts tag title 4-way?
Yeah, now we have a possibility of of TNA losing more titles from their brand and going over to NXT. I swear, I think this has to be leading to something at War Games. It has to be. It's
That
the
checks
only
out.
thing I can think of that makes sense.
NXT has not confirmed War Games yet, though. Only the main roster.
I know, but like just with the way that they're playing this all out, there has to be some type of collaboration.
There
In
has
my
to be
opinion.
something going down in Lowell.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Bound for Glory is before that.
Yeah, we'll
and
see
then
how it pans out.
yes, and our final piece of mainstream highlight today: Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger at WWE, will be retiring from in-ring competition to start a trucking company in Florida. Wait, what?
He
Yeah, he oh you go ahead, go ahead.
So he announced it on Soraya's podcast that he retired from in-ring competition, and it's just I started up a trucking company.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
he's I mean, dude, he doesn't get enough respect in the wrestling industry and the combat industry, in my opinion. He's a great dude. I've gotten to work with him in a small matter in West Virginia at a show, and then we had him in AIW a couple years ago, and we had a good little convo and chopped it up a little bit. And he's been super helpful. He's a former world champion. A lot of people forget that. Certified badass. Went to Bellator and kicked ass, and that's always good for the wrestling industry. And a lot of people hate on him, but they don't realize, all the stuff he's gone through and how he kind of was recruited from college and all that, and is legit. And was in WWE in a weird time. That WWE HD era was a weird time. So having to deal with all those politics and all that, and being on the road and being the champ and being young, and that adds up. That's probably 20 years worth of grinding, plus when he was a kid, wrestling for real. So I think, when I talked to him, he was just looking at other options, is what he said. Because I was like, hey, what are you thinking? He just left AEW at the time. He said, I'm done at AEW, but I'm looking at other options outside of wrestling. I'm thinking this, this, and this. And so he's just, conserving his body. He's got family and all that. And after you're the world champ, what else is there to do? So but I think he was a little banged up and whatnot. I still got to watch that podcast, but he's a great dude. I just wanted to give him a shout out. And yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've always been a fan of Jake Hager. I've loved his work. I think, like you said, I think he's very underrated in the wrestling industry and the combat world. And whatever makes him happy, honestly. Best of luck to Jake Hager. I hope the new trucking company goes well. If you ever need help with marketing, let me know.
There you go.
Hey, you gotta make that plug.
This was something that I don't I don't know. We'll talk about it and then we'll see how the conversation goes. So there have been multiple reports going around that MVP is causing a little commotion backstage. From what the reports are saying right now, the issue shown is that he is not a fan of the creative being given to him, aka he's not happy with the options that creative is giving to him for Bobby and Shelton to drop the belts to. Apparently, he's been pitched about them dropping the belts to FTR, and he said no. And apparently, he's like, "Oh, well, I'd prefer like dropping them to like a younger team, like Private Party, or I can't remember what the other names that were named off."
They randomly said the Outrunners, and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, the
wait, what?
Outrunners,"
Which was random. And then he also refused, for some random reason, didn't want to drop him to Jet Speed because he's not a fan of Speedball.
he doesn't like Speedball because I think one day instead of Speedball training, he was playing video games backstage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so in my opinion,
Interesting.
maybe just being a little hypercritical. I mean, I understand MVP's been in the industry for a very long time, but I mean, people are allowed to relax. Like if like maybe they already got their workout in. Maybe they got there earlier than you did. Like don't just jump to conclusions. Like I mean, I'm not, and I mean that with anybody. Like that, like those types of people always they put a thorn in my side. Well, I'll say that. And then he also thought that MJF in this syndicate was silly. Is that correct?
Yes. And that's why they rushed through to get him out the syndicate.
Because I was going to say, he was only in there for what, like a month and a half?
Yeah. Like he was started talking about I, and then Bobby, Shelton, and then this past week, MVP. And then MVP was like, oh yeah, once you beat Hangman, excuse me, Bobby's coming after you. I'm like, wait a minute. So, yo, rushed him out the syndicate instead of Bobby spearing him in half. When MJF winning the title and then Bobby spearing him in half would have made more sense.
Yeah,
the Hurt Syndicate, man, they're certified superstars. They've done a lot. They've been, they all killed it in WWE. Lashley, legit as hell. Another guy that has won in the cage, which is always great for the industry. But I mean, dude, I think he's like not even in his prime yet, Bobby Lashley, and that's coming from a guy that got thrown into a wall by him. So it hurt. I'm still got some residual injuries, but the Hurt Syndicate, they are really like a force to be reckoned with, and it makes sense when you look at them. They're legit. So, but I think them and the Outrunners would be pretty sweet to see. Outrunners are grinding, man. They always stand out on a show. They're probably two of the hardest working dudes I've ever been around, and I think they're right in that title picture. Should be, because the fans love them, and no matter what situation they're in, whether it's a match, outside, inside, backstage, front side, whatever it is, those guys always stand out and always kill it and always are creative and unique. So I love those guys.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm even a fan of the Outrunners. It's just more so like, wait, so you're naming off teams that you've already beat? I mean,
Right.
I understand, like, building back to the story, but I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's entitled.
That could have been another laundry. That could have been another laundry list. They had to get the laundry out, and they're just trying to spice some stuff up. So you never know. But the Hurt Syndicate is a force to be reckoned with for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And the only two options left to become number one contenders for the Syndicate right now are FTR and Brody King and Bandito. So it's like, what are we doing?
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
It's definitely going to end up FTR because they set that stuff up a few weeks ago with Edge.
Yes, 100%. Now, we did also have SummerSlam last weekend. The one thing I will say, thank God, too, is we only had to listen to Cardi B for about 60 seconds. And
you're just mad because she didn't,
mad about
you're
what?
You're just mad because she didn't shout you out. You wanted her to shout you out on air.
No, I never, ever want to be mentioned in that woman's mouth. Ever. She is gross. Her music sucks. She doesn't even write her own music.
Big cap. If Cardi B comes to this man right now for a website game.
Yes. Keebler, set that up.
No.
Keebler set that up.
No, you're not doing that. No, you're not going to do that.
Yes, we are. Keebler set that up.
Anyway, Jelly Roll suggested not to go over Logan and Drew. Like, what do you mean? Like, was he suggesting for him and Randy to win?
So, from the reports I read, the original pitch was for Jelly and Randy to go over. Jelly Roll said no to that and wanted Drew and Logan to go over. So I was like, okay, cool. So he's one of the few because the celebrities always, the part-time celebrity always want to go over. So he went.
There you go, Cody. But
why did you entertain it? But okay. But
yeah,
the celebrity always goes over. So Jelly was willing to play ball and be like, yeah, the part-time celebrity that's just here for a cameo isn't going over this time.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, and I mean that also shows his character, and it shows that he has an understanding for the business as well. And they are actually currently in talks for Jelly Roll to remix Randy Orton's theme song.
Wow.
which I want to hear
I
a
want
country
it.
version of Voices.
No.
I want it.
No. Leave the fucking song alone.
I mean, like we were saying earlier, though, it's just great for that mainstream crossover. I thought Jelly Roll killed it. I'm pretty sure my dude, Big Sam Holloway, he's an ID prospect for WWE. He might have not taught Jelly Roll how to do a choke slam. So that's rumor and innuendo. But yeah, I thought that match was awesome, and it's so cool to see. Like, when else would you see Logan Paul and Jelly Roll in a wrestling ring, man? That's wild. That's wild.
Oh yeah. Now, one question we do have is where does Jade go from here after a clean loss in a 7-minute match?
7 minutes is a
she-
long time.
7 minutes is a long time. Wait, what'd you just say?
I said 7 minutes is a long time.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean 7 minutes. Oh, I thought that was Monkey that said that. That's why he's
No,
like
I
that.
did.
Oh,
I,
no,
s-
7
I-
minutes.
Don't mind me.
Monkey, you're
Yeah.
a pervert.
I looked
But
at the no,
Right,
I
yeah.
looked- I
Ignore the
looked
chat
at
right now.
streamer.
oh, freaking wait, what did Cody say?
It was about me. Ignore that.
Oh my god.
Moving on.
Cody's an idiot. I'm sorry. He's one of Monkey's local idiots. 7 minutes is a very long time. I mean, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't even go 60 seconds in a wrestling match. I get blown up in the first 30. But
Right.
like, you know, it was a good match, but it's more so where does she go from here? Because we all thought, I mean, I'm not sure about you, Wes, but me, Donna's a Monkey, we all thought that she was going over. We all thought for sure she was getting the title. So it was we were kind of shocked when we saw that did not happen.
There it is. That's the wrestling.
I think she's flipping. I think she and Rhea Ripley are flipping.
Hey,
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. But also, with Bianca's return speculated for the next couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
could we see one of them turn heel or the team reunite to go against the Allies of Convenience?
right. There you go. There's layers, man. There's layers. And that's why WWE is on fire right now, because they're doing some of the best storytelling, we've ever seen, and their roster is so deep that you could play with these pieces and you forget about this. Like you said earlier, Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch are having a segment, and it's like there's two legacy legendary names right there going toe to toe. So all these pieces, you got Trish Stratus still in the mix. She could come out whenever, you know what I mean? You don't even know about that. Tiffany Stratton, but Jade's a superstar. She's crushing it. We'll see how she feels from it. After a loss, there's a lot of times you got to go back to that drawing board and figure out who you are and what you want and what goals you have in mind and how you're going to get there.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I get it.
I think the way the story writing goes, especially with what we saw, like what that conversation with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley last week, I think we're on the money about those two flipping shows after the draft.
You think
Yeah.
so?
It makes a lot of sense in the Rhea Ripley storyline too, because she would be going after a belt she's not held yet.
Yeah,
When's the
and
draft?
it's still unknown, but
Okay.
also
We've been trying
Because I got to be close to my phone and make sure it's charged up. You know what I mean?
What was that you said?
Pull that out of the trio for like the last 2 weeks, dude. That's number one question in my mind is when the draft is. I know.
Yeah. No, I was saying I better know that date because I got to have my phone charged up and close by just in case I get that call. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
oh Lord.
It was funnier
But,
if everyone heard it the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
I kind of heard it, but I was just like, bruh.
I'm ribbing you guys.
Now,
Hey, you never
one
know, man.
thing I definitely could say is we all got fucking ribbed last week, seeing that Seth Rollins is not injured. Seth Rollins is perfectly fine, and he is now your world heavyweight champion after stealing the world title from one CM Punk.
Crazy. Those dudes hate each other. That's legit.
Is that legit?
backstage,
Like, do they
100%.
legitimately not like each other?
Oh, they hate each other, brother. They hate each other. I've been quoted by like 100 dirt sheet laundry list that say independent wrestler Wes Barkley says he actually saw them backstage hating each other because someone asked me on a podcast, what was it like being security when you were the pull apart with Punk and Rollins? I was like, that was fucking, excuse my language. It was a real fight. I think I had a black eye after. Like they were clawing and scratching. Like I think it was Adam Pearce at the entranceway. He just kept waving guys. Like everybody that was there backstage as a security guard, they were, whether you were in catering looking for the Uncrustables or whatever, they were waving everybody in. So I'm running down the entranceway. Buffalo is on fire, sold out venue, fans leaning over the guardrails. They were going ballistic. And Punk and Rollins are just throwing hands at each other. And any security that got in their way was getting clawed, scratched, elbowed, punched, kicked. They were taking us all out. So that was a tough day at the office for sure. But I never saw them talking to each other backstage. I never even seen them in the building at the same time. Punk showed up in that car and he went straight to the ring to kick Seth's ass. And it's like, dude, those dudes have long history of hating each other. And like, I didn't expect that Friday, or was it Saturday? Sorry. I
What
didn't
do you
expect
think?
that. I saw Punk get that win. It was huge. And then,
Yeah.
dude, like, I thought the knee. So here's a little inside, whatever. It's not even really a big deal, but whatever. Um, this dude, Jay Figueria, I always mess up his last name and I'm dehydrated. I'm sorry. But he's Seth Rollins' personal trainer. I follow him on Instagram and stuff. I'm on his email list. And he sent a big email out the night Seth got injured. And that's when I was like, he's banged up. You know what I mean? Because he was like, you never want to see one of your clients go down. It was like 5 minutes after Saturday night's main event. So that's why I'd never expected it coming because he was even like, we got to go back to the board. And he does Chad Gable's personal training too. So he's always been posting videos about Gable's recovery and all that. So I'm like, dude, it's got to be legit if his trainers talking about how, even a high level elite multi-year, multi-million dollar contract athlete gets banged up. You never want to see that. And like he was making videos and, I could tell that even the trainer was going through it for Seth. So I did not see that coming. And it just adds to that foil of Punk's big moment of that return and getting the belt and everything Punk's been through since he came back to WWE through his injuries and the grind and everything he has to deal with to losing it just like that, man, that is rough.
Oh yeah. And on top of that, have Drew McIntyre coming at you saying, I'm officially now not the shortest reigning world heavyweight champion of all
Right.
time.
Right.
36 seconds.
Before I go into my opinion on that, I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the worst feud? This one between Rollins and Punk, or Michaels and Bret Hart?
Dude, it's up there, bro.
Ooh.
That's it. That's great that you said that because these dirt sheets need to report stuff like that because that's really what the vibe is, and we're witnessing it. And they're in it right now, so they're just going toe to toe and going after it. But like looking on the out, like taking a step back and realizing it, it's that same vibe, dude. Same vibe. People were on edge backstage. WWE is a corporate billion-dollar company, so as an extra, you are on your P's and Q's and making sure but that night, both times I was there, I'm looking because Punk's one of my favorites and I'm, grateful that I got to chop it up with him a little bit, but I'm just kind of seeing what he's doing, how he's moving. And then I'm like, I'm there and I'm like, oh, wait, Seth and Punk hate each other. I'm like, where's Seth at? Where's Punk at? Never saw him. And then we're out there in the ring and they were throwing hands like crazy. It was nuts.
I was
So
even gonna
that's
say, like, I remember that segment, and I remember even saying, I'm like, okay, is it just me or these two look like they're legitimately fighting?
100%, 100%. So it was it
Oh,
was
yeah.
cool to be a part of that. But dude, that's just real life animosity making the best TV storytelling because that's where the best, you know, problems come from is when it's real. Back to that cross stuff. That's how he really feels. This is what
Mm-hmm.
wrestling's about, is that real emotion. You want to be the top guy. Think about when you get to that top guy after 10 years out of WWE and to lose it just like that, to a dude that we all thought was hurt for real. It's crazy. So yeah,
It kind
we'll
of
see how
makes
that pans out, man.
it kind of makes you feel like, because of how well they did, or like how far they went with the Seth Rollins injury, like as far as keeping it under wraps, because from what I'm understanding, like maybe three people on the planet knew what was
Mm,
actually going on. it makes me wonder if CM Punk was one of those three, and if that reaction in the middle of the ring we saw was like legitimate or not. Because you know, you never know if that's withheld information.
Right. Right.
Oh, from what I've been told, that was a 100% legitimate reaction. He was pissed. He was mad.
They got beef, man. It's crazy. It's crazy
He
to
was
see that.
so.
I've never been in any locker room where people hated each other like that. That's facts.
I can only imagine how imagine how mad he was when he got backstage. I can only
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
the heat that there was when they got back.
The only thing that makes me feel like maybe they're working you is like CM Punk did spend a lot of time in that ring after that, like waiting for something. You know what
I
I'm
think he
Yeah.
was
saying?
taking it in personally. I'm not trying to
Nah, he
throw a
was
whole
taking it in.
that I was thinking taking it in because like and that's even thing because I don't think that Seth's injury was 100% not real because with the LA Knight stuff, how that happened and seeing Seth get taken out and yelling F bombs, what I saw as a performer is someone that is getting all the pieces together, right? As a performer and as a business side, right? If you get what I'm saying, he's got his group, he's got Paul Heyman, and he's ready to go on a run. He's getting in the best shape of his life, and to have that injury like that, what I saw with that was him going. It's the second game of a football franchise in the NFL, and you got the franchise team, and you're set to win the Super Bowl, and you're game 2 or 3, so you got a little time to go, but you got all the pieces in place, and for a routine play to go like that, a play you've done 100 times, and to tweak your knee that you already were a little injury prone on, that's what I saw as him just that flash in front of him. But the same thing is what I saw with Punk, right? When he won that belt, dude, he's taking it in. It reminded me of when he first won it and those eyes lighting up and him kissing that belt and holding that belt. That's what, like, dude, not only not being in WWE for 10 years, but all the stuff in AEW and all the stuff in between and all his past relationships for WWE to finally get that back. Dude, there's a lot going on right there. And there was a lot of people at that show. So there's a lot going on. And dude, just to even register that would probably took in 5 to 10 minutes. So that was a crazy moment, man. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The
Very
heist
crazy
and
moment.
then the big fucking ruse. Like this guy's Seth. What I have come to understand now is if you have beef with Seth Rollins, do not let him get into the Money in the Bank match. That's
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Right on. Right on.
Roman didn't realize it. Punk didn't realize it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
and
And
both times he
legit to where
cashed in,
they
and both times he cashed in, it's memorable moments.
There you go.
probably the two top ones. And legit to where they even used their daughter's preschool for the ruse. They used their daughter's preschool and Becky's IG page
He's the
to
architect.
fool everybody.
like I said. What sold it for me was coming on Rich Eisen week after week with the crutches.
Yes.
Yeah. There it is.
And then what was it? Becky's Instagram post.
Right.
Yes.
Like that was selling it for me. I was like, all right, maybe this shit's for real. Because at first, like, there was when I first saw it, my immediate reaction. You can ask Eric. My immediate reaction was, well, that's either an ACL or a work. I don't think there's an in between on that. Because the way he hopped back
That
up and
snapped. Yeah,
everything,
dude. That was nasty.
and then that like when I saw him on Rich Eisen a couple days later, I was like, oh fuck, that's an ACL, dude. Like that
Right.
was when I got sold. I got suckered. Everybody got played on that one, dude. The kayfabe's back. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna keep it going, but that was the most kayfabe that I've ever seen in the
Yeah.
2020s.
Yeah, no, kayfabe is definitely alive and well. That's for sure.
If done right, oh my gosh. With the right angle.
100%.
And we're not done with returns, are we?
No, that was not the only return because here I'll get the music lined up here real
Yes!
quick. Doy, just for you, monkey. Because we also saw the return of this man, Mr. Brock Lesnar. I called it. Literally during the live stream, I called it. because we were on live stream. I saw a report that he was in Jersey, and I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
I'm like, watch. I'm like, this is the reason why Cena's turning face. He's gonna drop it to Cody, and the next you know, and they were all losing it. I was literally on here losing my mind. I was like, I fucking told you. I told all of you. Fuck you, Meltzer. Fuck you, Sap.
Wow.
I
Wow.
like how
Losing my
there was
absolute
very little difference between this return and the return he had last time. He had a hiatus because what did he do last time? He basically came in, he fucking F5 Roman Reigns, and he left. He just did the same thing again. I love Brock Lesnar. He's a very simple creature. He just comes, destroys, and leaves. It's what do you need to sell?
Nine
There you
times
go.
out of 9 times out of 10, his returns have either been Roman or Cena.
Crazy.
That's all
I
you-
think
that's all you
they
need on
they've
board.
announced they're wrestling in Paris, man. I think that's like a crazy box office match, and it's unreal to actually get to see those guys and all their history. And dude, you saw it on Brock's face. He's strictly business, like you said. He's a simple dude, but that dude, he wants to get paid, and you
Mhm.
get paid more when you win. And
Oh, yeah.
what's getting paid more than beating the GOAT, because John Cena's the GOAT right now, 17-time world champ. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be huge in Paris. And if that can happen, what's next for Cena, right? I don't mean to get ahead of ourselves, but if he's bringing out all this stuff, dude, I'm so excited to see what John Cena's got in store for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
For the
Yeah.
matter, I
Yeah.
know that Cena's a part of it, like, because Cena's like a big reason for a lot of what's been going on. But just,
Sure.
I'm sure that we're not gonna let Brock Lesnar just have one match with Cena and go away. So imagine the potential. Like, I know Cena Lesnar is gonna put
Right.
asses in seats, but
Right.
what about Lesnar Gunther, Lesnar
Right. That's what
Breakker?
I'm saying. It now, because
Well,
that's
Yeah.
we
really what
already
I'm
know
thinking
who's.
is Brock's in the mix now, and now think about all those matchups.
Oh yeah, and now here's
But
another
do
question.
we get Cena versus Roman one last time? And who does Cena put over?
I think Cena Roman might be one of the last ones, if not the last one.
It probably will be the last match. I think Roman will end up being his last opponent.
That'd be
Now,
crazy.
here's an interesting question. Who in the fuck is gonna stop the Wyatt Six? That's a whole nother fucking who in the heck is who's
Oh,
taking out those guys? Nobody.
Johnny said he fell asleep on the couch. Didn't sleep on the couch, but dude, you let Candace fly with the fishes Sunday.
And then you went directly for the titles instead of checking on your wife.
Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny, man, Johnny and Candace helped train me. They started the AIW Academy, with John Thorne and the AIW team, Chandler Biggins, and
Oh wow.
but Johnny and Candace were the OG trainers. So I called Johnny for a little while because right when I started training, it was right when he started going and doing all the stuff at NXT, and then eventually getting signed and doing the DIY stuff. So yeah, it was crazy to see that. It was
It was
crazy
freaking
to see that.
nuts.
That's all.
And
That was crazy to
what's
see.
even worse
Candace
though
is
is like
crazy and she's awesome too. So yeah,
I was gonna say,
Funny
and like
spot.
people will go hop on there being all like, "Oh, I can't believe she's taking a crazy spot like that." I'm like, I'm sorry, have you not watched this woman's matches on the Indies?
there you go.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
I'm like,
There you go.
Candace probably pitched a spot like that because it was
Like,
between her, Nikki, and BFAB. You know, BFAB's not taking that because she's still training with Natty right now.
Yeah.
Nikki would probably
Nikki
do
would
it,
take that.
but it made more sense for Candace to be the one to be like, yeet.
yep,
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. It's
it
awesome to see
was.
Johnny killing it though, and he's an awesome dude and has always been super cool to me and helped me out a lot, and he's always putting on for Cleveland, so I love that.
Oh yeah,
which
100%.
which I didn't think DIY as a heel tag team would work, but oh my gosh,
I really
it
like
has
it.
worked.
Honestly, Tommaso Ciampa sells that shit, dude.
Oh yes,
Because
He's
Tommaso
such a
Ciampa
good
as a heel is amazing.
yep.
Mean dude.
Like-
He's a mean dude.
Like Gargano's a smartass, but Ciampa's heel run is really what's selling that
Bingo.
that tag team's
Mhm.
turn. But
Now-
dude,
And
Wyatt
them versus
Six-
DIY makes it so worth it.
Right.
I mean, not
Wyatt
DIY,
Six being
Guns,
booked to-
Motor City.
being booked to
Yeah.
be the untouchable six. in the tag team division, I love this angle. I love the fact that like everybody already feels outnumbered, and imagine feeling outnumbered in a tag team.
Right.
Like I
Right.
love, I love what we're doing with the Wyatts right now. I like that we've made them look like a Goldberg tag team. Like it's cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I have no problem with the booking.
100%.
I don't know how the fuck we're gonna get the belts off of them, but I don't have an issue with the booking so far.
I don't see them dropping them until at least November. And
Yeah,
the reason I say that, Universal.
yeah, Halloween Horror Nights. I see that too. Now, Mr. Barkley, the
Yes, sir.
main reason why we have you on here is we do have a few questions for you. If
Hell
you
yeah, man. I
mind.
appreciate chopping up with you guys too. It's fun to talk some wrestling, hear you guys' thoughts, and I always like a different venue because or different ideas and how you guys are looking at it, and I like the ideas. You guys are creative as well too, so it's got me thinking about what's going on in the industry. So it's awesome to hear you guys talk about that, and I appreciate that little convo we had just had. But let's
Yeah.
rock, dude. Whatever questions you got, I'm all your guys. I'm all yours. Nothing's
All right.
off the limits.
So
Let's do it.
first off, I appreciate you saying all that. Thank you. I do.
Yeah.
Now, one of your most memorable feuds to date, as of right now, I would say,
Uh
has been against the self-proclaimed indie god,
oh.
Matt
Ooh wee.
Cardona.
Yes, sir.
What would you say it was like to chop it up with him? Because you guys have had
Oh,
a few
unreal.
matches now.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough that I think right when he got released in 2020, we were one of his first matches. It was me, Colin Delaney, and Cheech, those two, and Josh Bishop, my
Hmm.
dude, versus Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, Hornswoggle, and Smart Mark Sterling. It was an awesome match. It was an awesome opportunity. I was so early on in my career, but that was my first time being around Cardona. Then he started coming around more. He won a couple belts in AIW. We kind of had a feud. Him and Josh were feuding for a little bit. Me and him were feuding for a little bit. We had this big match. It was my first. I mean, that match with Kingston was huge, and it was so early on. But this was my big. I've wrestled Nick Gage as well. If you guys know Nick Gage,
Yep.
hardcore deathmatch legend, and he beat me up. So that was another huge match for me. But this one was really really big. It was my first time for AIW's championships, and it was against Matt Cardona, and it was in my home, in Cleveland, big venue. A lot of people came out, unreal environment. Went toe to toe. We were rocking and rolling. I was close to beating him, and then someone comes out in a Danhausen mask. And I'm like, what the hell? Who's in a Danhausen mask? Danhausen was on the show. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then he like hit me with the chair or gave me a low blow and just hit me with the chair after. And then they take off the Danhausen mask and it was Chelsea Green showing up out of nowhere, right? So not only that, but then after that, Brian Myers came out and he pulled out a bag. And in this bag there was a razor and
Hmm.
clippers, and they cut my hair. So they legit cut my hair in the ring and threw it out in the crowd and embarrassed me, but also it was like the beginning of my metamorphosis into who I am today, right? It was a huge moment for me. And that kind of always kept me and Cardona glued together in some way. Me and Josh had a huge opportunity after that, getting to go wrestle for the NWA in the Crockett Cup in the buying game. And a lot of, when we watched it back, a lot of the talk was about how we've gone toe to toe with Cardona. And I think the day after we left, Cardona won the NWA title for the first time, right? So
Yeah.
there's, we're right there. We're right on you, broski. So then down the road, me and Josh wrestled Myers and Cardona, which was an awesome match. And again, we got to give Brian Myers a shout out. He's probably one of the best dudes I've ever been in the ring with. So phenomenal, so underrated, dude. He's so talented. And he's killing it in TNA, and you love to see that. But an awesome dude. But then Cardona, we had another match later down the year. It was the first time I ever got a win on him. I got a little roll up. Then, like I was mentioning earlier, we had that big Chelsea Green. We were going to cut Cardona's cut Cardona's hair. Me and Josh were beating him up. And then Chelsea gave us a low blow, beat us up. And then Britt made the return. So we did some super surprise, awesome moment match. And then recently this year at the AIW 20th year anniversary show, I was the intense champion and I was defending it against Cardona now. So even though I was the champ, I still felt like I was the underdog. I was doing it in my home city, the AIW 20th year anniversary show, which was an honor to be the main event and be a part of in general. And we had Josh Prohibition, who's a Cleveland legend, as the special guest referee. and he ended up turning on me for the money with Cardona, and they thought they had me, but to get that win after was huge. And then some shenanigans happened after. But for the past like 2 or 3 years, I would say probably 3 years, I've kind of gotten to be with Cardona and seen him around. And that dude has given me so much help. Every time I've been in the ring with him, it's leveled me up immensely. It just brings you up a level, and you're going against a WWE superstar. So he really sets that bar. But I told him this, and you'll respect this because you were kind of talking about NWA. I said, dude, you were like the real NWA champion, because he goes town to town to town to town to city to country to every state in between and wrestles the best guys locally and elevates them, elevates himself, and elevates the shows. And it's just like, that is what I think of when I think of the traveling NWA champ, Ric Flair. And Cardona's doing it. He's always reinventing himself. He'll pop up on Ring of Honor and wrestle Jericho. It's just stuff like that is just why he is still, crushing it 5 years after being released and still primed and ready to be in there, and is phenomenal in the ring as well. But he's a superstar, and we really both were on the same page always with kind of the wrestling we like and like to present. So I'm extremely grateful for all those opportunities. I'm grateful for him. I'm going to see him Saturday at IWC, and it'll be the
Nice.
first time we're not wrestling each other. So maybe I'll get to talk to him. Maybe the beef's cleared up. But you never know. You never know.
Right.
So yeah, but he's a
Right.
great dude, man, and he's killing it. So I hope to see him. I think him and Chelsea could do some really cool stuff in WWE, and I know he wants to go back, so it'd be awesome to see him back there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's crushing it until Shotzi kicks his ass again.
Oh, right. Yeah, we got to watch out for that. We got to watch out for that. But again, like bringing up Cena, him and John Cena had that moment. So there's some
Oh,
unfinished
yeah.
business there. I'd love to see that as just,
It
a
would be a
homie, but
super
also a
moment.
wrestling fan. I think that'd be cool. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if this is well-known fact, but
uh-oh.
a lot of people, from what I've realized, don't realize now that you are one half of the Rip City Shooters with Joshua Bishop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say that is because, obviously Josh has been getting a lot of momentum recently since he got picked up with. Well, I don't think he's not on a contract with TNA, right? I don't think so.
He's fourth rope, and then they just took over. So Josh does whatever he wants. He's always been like that, and he does whatever he wants still. So if he wants something, he's going to go get it. He wanted to beat some TNA dudes up, so he pulled up with his fourth rope guys, and they did that.
Oh yeah, no, that was a great match. And so a lot of people
awesome.
don't know you guys have been teaming for a while, though, and
Yeah.
you've been together for a very long time. And and you guys are former AIW tag champs.
Yes, sir.
So does that go outside of the ring also? Like
that's where it started. That's where it started. Great question though. Great way to, because that's where it started. Me and Josh trained together at AIW, and we both just hit it off right away, and really just had a great relationship. Always were grinding that training. He ended up debuting a year before me because I got injured and stuff. And he was starting to train before I did as well too. But we just always hit it off. And personally, we're both singles wrestlers, but we're both damn good singles wrestlers that we just took over the tag team game as well, right? So we've had awesome opportunities, like I mentioned, wrestling Cardona and Myers. We had a crazy hardcore match with Nick Gage and Filthy Tom Lawler, who is super underrated as well. And yeah, Josh was always my dude, and we both just love wrestling and want to go to heights, and both have goals, and both push each other and grind, and are always studying tape, and are always working hard, and are getting to wrestle big names and learn from them, and are always trying to, we'd always pick up guys from the airport or talk to the legends at the shows and always try to pick their brains. But there was a moment where we were, doing ring crew for AIW, and we were going back to our storage unit to put our ring away. And someone's like, hey, can you get those belts out of there? And it was the new tag team belts. And we grabbed those belts and we both picked them up. They just go, two guys go pick them up. And it ended up being me and Josh. And we just looked at each other and we're like, hey, that's fate, dude. It's in the cards. So we won those tag belts, and I love tagging with them. We had a return last night in West Virginia. It was an awesome moment and so fun to be back out there with them. And, through the ups and downs, dude, that's always going to be my bro. That's always going to be my brother. We've been through so much together that whether we're on the same shows or we're not, we always got each other's back. And we both love doing the singles thing, but it's just like Rip City's a force to be reckoned with. So I'm so happy to see everything he's doing, and we're rocking and rolling, man. You never know what can happen.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, in your career, you have faced off against countless amazing wrestlers, including, like I said before, Cardona, Derek
Yep.
Dillinger,
Yep.
Dominic Garrini, Matthew Justice, Tom Lawler, and
Yeah.
currently you're in a back. I believe you're still in a back and forth with Isaiah Broner.
It just ended. He knocked me out and won the belt, the intense championship. So
Oh,
I'm man enough to admit that. We had a good little feud going for a couple months after I beat Cardona at that 20-year anniversary show, and I was about to get my hands on Josh Prohibition, who is someone that I learned so much from and trained me and helped me, and it did so much for the Cleveland wrestling scene. And so many nights we've gotten sushi together, me, him, and Josh Bishop. You know what I mean? And just us three picking, and doing that, going back to Prohibition's house, man, all that for him to turn for Cardona for the money. I thought that was one thing, but then for him to bring out Broner and have Broner spear me and break me in half and break two of my ribs, and steal the belt from me, and then them say that he was the champion was kind of delusional out of them, and I wasn't happy about it. But I'm man enough to admit that I punched Josh Prohibition in the face. I might have busted his jaw, maybe broke a couple teeth, so I'm happy I got that revenge. But Broner hit me with a lariat, knocked me silly, and won the belt. So I don't know what's next for that. Personally, I got my revenge on Prohibition, so I'm cool. I've won the Intense Championship twice. There's only one more belt in AIW that I haven't won yet, and that's the Absolute title. So you said Triple Crowns earlier. That's really what I have my sights on right now. So I want the red belt in AIW, and that's what I
nice.
want. Yeah.
I see that in your future. I think it's about time. I think it's
Thank
about
you.
time Wes Barkley
Appreciate
is
that.
the absolute champion in AIW.
Thank you.
Of
Appreciate
course.
that.
Of
It's
course.
time to grind now, though, because after Broner took me out, it made me realize that, you're 3 seconds away at any moment from losing.
Yeah. No, completely understood. Now, who would you say of everyone that you've been in the ring with, who's someone that you would
Yeah.
say that it's like, okay, if I'm stuck with this guy like till the end of time, like I don't care.
As wrestling or as hanging out?
Wrestler.
The wrestler. It'd probably be Cardona. Cardona,
Yeah.
I have so much chemistry with them, and it's just like it's so awesome. I can't say enough good things because it's just so fun being out there with him, and he's so good at his job, and we both just hit it off, and we both have really similar mind states, and we both rocks like when we're rocking. So
Of course.
but you didn't say the other one I was gonna say if it was outside the ring, it would probably be either Paul London or Joey Janela. Those two dudes are awesome. So
I gotcha.
yeah.
Now, seeing as like we were discussing earlier, that there are really so many different options that
Mhm.
wrestlers can now go to for full-time employment if needed, where would you say would be like your ultimate goal? Like, where would you? I mean, obviously, I know probably every wrestler is like, well, I would love to work for the WWE,
Yeah.
but I know there are some
Yeah.
that are like, I'd also actually like to hit TNA, NWA, other promotions. So,
For sure.
what would you say your ultimate goal would be?
So right now it's to get a contract with one of those companies, right? I know it's the easy answer and all that, right? For many reasons, and Bully Ray really cemented this to me when I got to pick his brain after we wrestled, right? He said you need to get a contract because there's nothing guaranteed in wrestling except for those contracts, and you never know when you're going to get hurt, and you got to provide for your family, and you got to keep leveling up. So just how matter of fact it was that slap in the face I needed from a legend like Bully Ray. So that really set me straight in this past year, and it's just like, okay, let's grind and get that. Like you said, WWE is the pinnacle, and that's the goal. And I'd love to be at WrestleMania, and I need to get to there. I need to be there. Personally, I'd love to be in WWE as well for the PC. Right? I would love to be around those guys, legends that have done everything in the wrestling industry and have trained some of the best superstars to get that coat of paint on me. That's really what I want. I've never worked for TNA, but I love what they're doing right now. I think that would be really cool. Tommy Dreamer's an awesome dude, and he's really rocking there, helping out. But they have a great roster, and they're doing some really cool stuff. But WWE is the number one, and I would have to go with AEW as number two, just because of what I've done with AEW. That getting to work as an extra is awesome. Getting to wrestle on Ring of Honor and AEW Dark was awesome. Getting to wrestle on Collision was awesome. Now I want that every week. Now I want some gold. You know what I'm saying? Like to have that. I've been in the ring. I've wrestled some of your guys, wrestled Dante Martin, wrestled Kyle Fletcher and Dunkzilla. It's like Kyle Fletcher's killing it. He's on a run, and it's just like, okay, he pinned me. All right. So it's just inspiring. Like I said, again, I was there Wednesday, and it's just like, yo, I want to be here, and I want to take a run at anything I can here, and I want some gold. My favorite color is green, but my real favorite color is gold. If you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying, brother.
Yeah.
Now, but being an Ohio native, which promotion in this area, in the Ohio area, would you say is a little? Would you say on the underrated side, which doesn't get enough hype?
I would say AIW. I mean, it's an easy answer for me because that's where I trained at, and like that's who gave me my start, and that's who I wrestle for now, won the belts, and really am rocking with. It's the reason why I say they're underrated is because they've been around 20 years, and some people still don't even know. And like to see that's where Johnny got his start, and to see all the guys that have come through. There's Seth Rollins was a former Intense champion. You know what I mean? It's just like the history. I there's so many more top level names that I can name right now. I'm just like I could go on their page and do it, but it's just like for me personally, Cleveland is such a wrestling city and it's so underrated, but so many big moments happened from when the Survivor Series used to happen here to the invasion happening here to the invasion pay-per-view happening here. You know what I mean? Like when WCW got bought, Vince was in Cleveland, you know, to the No Mercy with Jeff Jarrett and to the No Mercy with the Hardy Boys. You know, it's like so many big moments have happened in Cleveland. Then you even look at WWE in the past like 15, 20 years. It's like all those big moments. And I think Cleveland's just an underrated wrestling scene. The talent that's come out of here, whether it's EC3 or Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, or Johnny Gargano, or Logan Paul, or The Miz. It's like Cleveland's a super underrated wrestling city. So I just wish people had eyes on Cleveland wrestling more so. So, but I got to go with the AIW just because that's me and that's who trained me, and that's where we're at.
Of course, of course. Now, final question before we go into
Yeah,
our open discussion topics.
yeah.
So, and Malcolm, don't copyright me. I swear to God, I'm not stealing your bit. It's 2 a.m. and you
Yeah,
just got done off of a wrestling bit or off of a
yeah,
wrestling show.
yeah.
Where are you stopping to grab some food?
Dude, I love Waffle House. That's just me personally, just because I love waffles, right? I love waffles and I love hash browns. Those are like my two favorite foods. Like my favorite food is sushi, but then after that, it's like breakfast foods, and it's like, dude, I will smash waffles all day. And those little crispy for home fry hash browns, whatever you call them, those
Dude,
are what I
yes.
love. And then I need my protein with my eggs, right? So I can't give you my order, bro, because I'm in Cleveland. We don't have any Waffle Houses, so it's only when I'm on the road I can get it.
Right.
But when I'm there, it's just like give me like this, and then I'll just it's what I'm feeling. Some days I want jalapenos on the thing, some days I don't. Some days I want onions, some days I don't. It's really how we're feeling. So I love that, and I love coffee. So all day, every day, Waffle House. If Denny's or IHOP's open and they're close by, I'm ripping it too. Breakfast food is my jam, and I'll eat it any time of the day. But yeah, I mean, dude, Waffle House, dude. There's times where I'll go to Waffle House by myself. Like
Right.
that's really it. You know what I mean? Like I'll rip it myself driving back solo to a show. I'm like, all right, I could get home now or I can get home in a couple hours, dude. It's gonna be 4 a.m. when I get home either way. Let me go eat. So
Right.
yeah, waffles my jam for sure.
Oh yeah, no, Waffle House is that place, and
Yeah.
Monkey seemed very happy with your answer before.
Yes, sir. We'll rip it, brother. Where you at, monkey?
He's a
Florida,
Florida? All right. If
South
I'm down,
Florida.
down Florida, I'll hit you up. We'll get Waffle House.
Because of course.
Our Waffle
Yeah.
Houses are probably some of the best in the country. I
There
promise.
we go. There we go.
Okay.
That's what's up.
No, but
Oh my
seriously,
gosh.
dude, really appreciate you being on here. We do have a little
Yeah.
bit more to go over before we are done. I don't know if you got anywhere that
Are
you
you
got.
kicking me on or what? What are you kicking me
No,
off or
no,
you want
no,
me
no,
on?
no, no, no. It's
Hey,
because sometimes we
whatever you
have
want.
guests. No, sometimes we have guests that have to go because they have a tight schedule and stuff. So I didn't know if you're on a schedule or whatnot right
I'm
now.
cool. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I'm cool, dude. I
All
always
right,
hop off
cool.
when
So
I'm
then
off.
we're
But
just
thank
gonna
you for
keep.
having me on. Yeah,
Of course. Okay, we're just gonna keep rolling then. We'll keep rolling.
yeah.
All right.
Now something for this week's open discussion is, you know what, Donaze, I'll let you discuss this one.
Okay. So obviously we heard about the ESPN partnership for WWE. My
Yes.
whole thing with the partnership is WWE and the rant you and I were bearing witness to, which was probably a top five comedic moment in RTC history.
Yes,
Thank
very
you,
much so.
Irving. Sorry. But is WWE gotten out of reach of the everyday common consumer? And what I mean by that, you have Netflix at 15, 16 a month. You're getting the ESPN deal, which depending on the partnership, the plan you have or the plan you're getting, up to $30 a month. Or in some cases, up to $30 a PLE. So you're looking at 45 to $75 before tax a month. Has that gotten out of reach of the common wrestling fan?
So
You want me to go, or you want me to wait? I'll go whenever you guys want.
All right,
so
You want me to
Monkey,
go?
go ahead.
Monkey's
Yeah,
got.
I
We'll let
yeah,
Monkey,
I
and
yeah,
then you
think
can go,
yeah.
Wes.
Rip it, rip it, rip it.
I think there's there's a couple of problems going on here, but one of them I think is a main one is TKO the company isn't they're conflating two different fan bases. They're trying to make WWE run a little more similarly to UFC, and uh, they're trying to monetize WWE in the same way they monetize UFC. They're trying to make money off of it in the same ways. The thing about this, the error they're gonna run into that they're gonna find out is that the UFC fan base, there's a lot of money in that fan base. Those the people that go to UFC fights, they sit on a higher end of a tax bracket than wrestling fans. You know what I'm saying? Like average WWE fans, we're talking middle class people at that like 9 to 5 hardworking family people, probably got 2 3 kids at home. They don't have the expendable income to blow like hundreds of dollars to sit and watch a fight live at UFC or pay like 80 $90 for their events like how the UFC does. So that's the wall that I feel like they're going to run into where they're going to lose touch if they haven't already a little bit with the original core WWE fan base. You don't have the amount of money in that household to keep wrecking them for upwards of $90 a month to watch your programming that was offered their whole entire lifetimes for free. Like it's a lot to ask. All right, you got to pay basically $27 a month or 13 $15 a month for Raw. Then you got to pay you got to get cable for USA, or you pay Hulu another $100 a month for TV on Hulu to get USA to watch SmackDown, and now you got to get fucking an ESPN subscription on top of pay $30 every PLE. Like you're asking way too much of the wrestling, uh, the wrestling fan, and where you're gonna see the hit isn't gonna be these things. These things are going to look like successes because what is the wrestling fan? Dedicated. They want to see the product. You're going to feel this in the WWE shop
Hmm.
because that's where all their expendable income goes.
There
And
you go. That's a great point.
once the shirts stop selling, once the merch stops selling, the Jey Uso sunglasses stop selling at 30 $35 a hit, that's when they might reevaluate things.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna be stuck having to pay for the subscriptions.
Yep.
But what
Hmm.
what were you gonna say, Wes?
Well, that was great that you said that because it kind of went into my point. There's so many different aspects I look at this, right? Because I look at it as an independent pro wrestler. I look at it as a business, right? And you said it where I'll just throw this out on the side, right? You said that it's becoming more and more expensive to be a wrestling fan, whether it's live shows or now with the streaming, right? Because I've heard about the tickets and all that stuff, right?
It is.
So my job as an independent pro wrestler is to make you get your 20, 30, $40 worth when you come see me and to bring in more people to come see me because, a lot of people, let's say, Cleveland had a SmackDown 2 weeks ago or AEW was here last week. Maybe my show next week, it's my job to give those fans that are say, hey, I'm still coming. I went to AEW, I'm still coming. I already bought my $20 ticket to make them go, hey, the local show is the way to go, right? For my bang for my buck. I'm front row. I get involved, blah, 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 meet the wrestlers after, but also to bring in more people, real life people that it's a whole different market, right? So I totally get what you're saying. I'm a little jaded because growing up, I'd have to pay $30 for a pay-per-view. I didn't get them every month. I got like 2 a year. But that is what's going to bring the product up, right? Because I wanted to watch all of them, but as a kid, I loved Raw, right? I wasn't a SmackDown guy. I loved Raw. And then it's like, okay, whatever. Oh, I want this one. I want this one. I want this one. But this is when you had that really good business, in my opinion, right? I'm 31, so I'm talking 2003, 2004, right? 2002, 2003, right? I couldn't buy them all, but I begged my parents, right? I mowed the lawn 4 times, did their laundry 100 times with my brother, just so we could see Kane and Shane McMahon in a crazy match, or just so we could see Triple H and Kevin Nash at Bad Blood in a cage with Mick Foley as the ref, right? You know, so it's like that is what's going to bring the product up, in my opinion. You're totally right with it's a lot of hoops and boundaries. And you didn't need to say this because I know you know this, is that just TKO is just all thinking about money, whether it's the $1 billion Netflix or the Fox or the Netflix or the Fox and the Peacock. My thing is, you know, the jaded about $30, cool, we'll get the ones that we need. The other thing I'm wondering is that is it going to bring new fans in that already have that ESPN, and how many wrestling fans already have that ESPN? Because Brian Gewirtz said it that Vince used to say a lot of wrestling fans aren't real sports fans, but I think there is a crossover, and people are leaving regular cable television to buy a thing like, hey, I'll get the Paramount, or I'll get this, I'll get that, I'll get that. And I feel like just spitballing, just kind of going off it, it's that a lot of people, ESPN is such a legacy sports brand and legacy brand that they're like, well, I got to get the ESPN. I got to have that. But again, you know, it just got announced, so it has a lot of speculation. We don't know if it's going to be an add-on off that, or what new content's going to be there. But my real question is, and I don't know if people have asked this, is that are the old pay-per-views going to stay on Peacock, or are they going over? Because then we're getting into real dicey territory. Because I got to study tape. I love watching old nitros and old stuff like that. So I need to get that. Is that going to thing? Okay, now I'm out of Peacock. Oh, well, I got to keep Peacock if that's the thing. I got to keep up on this as a performer. I got to watch this, this, and this. So I think it's gonna be something big. But again, like TKO, they always got something going. You know what I mean? Like we can't knock it until we kind of see. And like the sponsor game is crazy. But you watch the old stuff. You saw Castrol GTX and Snickers and Sour Skittles, man. Like how do I remember those ads still? It's crazy. So I think it's just part of the industry and everything in the wrestling, and then life is cyclical, and we'll kind of see how it goes. But I think these past 5 years of WWE have been insane. So who knows what's next?
Oh yeah,
I think I know what's next.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on, let me screenshot that. I need to screenshot that. That is so good.
Oh
Wow.
my
That is so good.
Yes. I saw
That is
this.
so good. That
I
is so
saw
good.
this.
That is so funny. That's what Triple H is all about, though. You see him doing the crossover, so we'll see what's up. I don't mean to swerve off this, but I'm going to get off in 8 minutes. So if you got any more of those spicy ones you want to throw in there to get my opinion, put those in the line. But I'm all your guys for 8 minutes.
Okay, no worries. So we actually are about to hop into the Indieverse now.
Okay.
So this will be the fast stuff actually that I'll just be running through. Now,
Cool, yeah.
And if you guys want to go ahead and just tell me when you want me.
Okay, no worries. So to start off our Indieverse, Bully Ray and Ricochet screwed over Zilla Fatu. Fuck that guy. He'll be getting his shit back though. Don't worry. When I say fuck that guy, I
You
don't
sure
mean
about
Bully Ray.
that?
I mean, I'm not talking to Bully. I'm talking to Ricochet. I don't want to die. All right, Ricochet, I can talk shit to and not fear for my life. Bully Ray, on the other hand, no, no.
Yeah, it's wild when Bully Ray is, I'm gonna have to say pause before, but is holding your legs wide open, and Devon is saying what's up to him. You're gonna need a couple ice packs. So I'm watching what I'm saying as well.
Unfortunately. Now some other craziness. Shotzi did pull double duty again to only catch Priscilla Kelly in the Crossfire. Now it'll be Kelly versus Blackheart for September, with most likely the winner getting a House of Glory Women's Championship match against Indy in October. Honestly, House of Glory has got some really good stories going
100%.
right now.
I was gonna say they're on fire right now. It's awesome to see. Amazing Red's awesome. Dude, they're always doing some unique stuff, and it's cool. And like, dude, all the people you named, I'm so happy that they're killing it fresh out of WWE. You know what I mean? A lot of people get down on themselves. a lot of independent performers get down on themselves, but to see people leave and, because we all love pro wrestling. So it's just putting our best pro wrestling we want out there out. And, Shotzi's killing it and all those other females are killing it as well, too.
Oh,
And to
100%.
think she's doing it all with one arm.
Right,
Yeah.
dude. Right.
That's
100%. 100%.
Like, how
I'm
is
like,
she doing that? How is she getting cleared for all that is my question.
House of Glory and GCW. So that's a Brett Lauderdale question.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, I was gonna say Brett Lauderdale doesn't really give a fuck. I mean, don't get me wrong, he cares about his talent, but it's like,
Yeah,
look,
he
if you
does.
want to be a
He
nut job,
does.
be a nut job.
Yeah.
He does. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Now, one show that we do have coming up this weekend, actually, you mentioned it, IWC Always Ready.
Yep.
Where
I will be there.
Yes, where IWC heavyweight champion Duke Davis will be defending against Matt Cardona. The women's champion and TNA knockout Mila Moore will be back in action. The IWC tag team champions, the Foundations, will defend their titles.
Yeah.
The man dime Elijah Dean will finally get his hands on RC Dupree. We'll hear from newly crowned IWC high stakes champion Marcus D'Angelo and much more. Bill Collier will be there. Zach Nystrom, Jamie Jameson, Andrew Palace, Anthony Katana, our very own right here, Mr. Wes Barkley.
Yes, sir.
And many, many more. Are you on the card or are you just attending?
It's a stacked show. Always great at IWC. Big match with Cardona coming in. Duke Davis has been on fire. You mentioned a lot of guys, Elijah Dean, Anthony Katina. Those dudes are all killing it. But you mentioned another name, and I told you guys, my favorite color is green, but my real favorite color is gold. So I heard the high stakes champion, Marcus D'Angelo, is going to be talking about something, but I always got my eyes on the gold. So that's all I can say. But high stakes, high rewards. I'll see you when I see you, D'Angelo.
Okay,
I might
so
keep an eye on that Saturday while I'm working. But speaking about this Saturday, Exodus Pro will be having Watch the Throne happening this Saturday in Cleveland. I will be there live to catch all the action, and I will be helping take photos and whatnot. It's my first time covering a wrestling show, so I got to remember, if I see wrestlers coming my way, move out of the way. I've seen so many photographers make that mistake. It's not even funny. And it's just like, guys, it's like, look, you can think it's fake all you want, but the second you get punched in the face by accident, that's when you finally realize, oh shit, this isn't fake.
Yeah.
Now, La Princesa Tiffany Neves will take on Marty Bell in a Exo Pro Women's Championship match. Ireland's most beautiful life liver, LJ Cleary, versus Strictly Business Brandon Beretta. The Good Pasture CeeLo will be taking on Carson Drake. Wait, did somebody edit this? Hold on. Did you edit this, Donaze? Or is this literally what EC3 actually wrote on the Exodus Pro page?
I didn't touch this.
Oh, God. Okay, so this is legitimately... Okay, Wes, listen to this. You'll get a laugh out of this.
Yeah, what do we got?
The Good Pastor CeeLo versus the walking embodiment of bags of dicks, Carson Drake. That was written by EC3 on the... Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't
have fun tomorrow.
I copied and pasted it.
Have fun tomorrow.
Oh, my God. This is going to be funny.
Good luck, that announcer guy.
Yeah, right. Get that in, brother. No, Exodus, man, they put on great shows. They've been crushing it. I love to see what they're doing. EC3 is an awesome dude. I got to give a big shout out to him. He's helped me out a lot, but I got to give an even bigger shout out to PB Smooth. He's been absolutely killing it there. Love seeing everything he's doing. That's my guy. We came up together. He's crushing it there. A lot of talent at Exodus. You're going to have a great time at that show. I'm excited to see what they put out and wish them the best of luck.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to say, Pretty Boy Smooth got a match tomorrow night also against Gannon Jones Jr.
That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge. Gannon's a killer as well. Match. Been in the ring with both them. Gannon's a killer. He's Duke Davis's partner, so they're both killing it. Pittsburgh and Cleveland on Saturday. Yeah, PB, that's my guy. We did our collision match together, so we always have that bond, and we always had the bond of coming up together. So I'm happy to see what he's doing, and he's really just knocking on NWA's door, and if they don't answer, he's going to knock it down. So.
Oh, yeah. And I'm also excited because it'll be the first time I get to be introduced to Vandal 48, aka Atticus and Otis Kruger and Christian Napier.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I've been dying to meet them for the longest time. Like ever since I watched Atticus's work with Megan Bain and Joey Janela and GCW.
Yes.
I'm like, I need to meet this guy. I'm like, he seems like a cool motherfucker. And
it's gonna be a good show, brother.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And then also Wrestling Revolver presents the Jerry Lynn Invitational this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Question being, who will be the first to hold the crown? And I would go down the card, but we didn't really get much. So with all that being said, Mr. West, before you hop off, is there anything you would like to plug?
I just want to throw that in there. Shout out to Jerry Lynn. He's the man. I was with him Wednesday. He's such a great dude. I wish I could be in that tournament. I'm so happy that Sammy Callahan and Wrestling Revolver are doing that because Jerry Lynn is the man and he deserves so much more respect. And he's been killing it at AEW, helping all talent out, and just such a great dude and had a killer career and is super underrated. And I just want to give a big shout out to Jerry Lynn. I wish I could be in that tournament because I would do anything it takes to win that for Jerry and to be the first one. So me personally, just plug in AIW. We got some big shows coming up. You said IWC. I'll be there tomorrow. Never Know with Greektown Wrestling. They got some big shows coming up in Toronto. Don't miss out on them. They're in on Triller TV. You never know where I'm going to show up next. Couple, AEW, WWE, DNA, whatever. I'm just trying to keep my best foot forward and keep rolling and keep learning and just keep rocking and trying to have some big matches, keep winning the gold. My Instagram is at Maserati Wes, Twitter at Wes Barkley, Facebook if you need it, YouTube if you need it. You just put in Wes Barkley, you'll see me. But big stuff coming up, going coast to coast, eating Versace French toast as only I can do if we're talking breakfast food, brother. So hopefully see you guys when I see you guys. I really do appreciate you guys having me on. And Don A's, where are you at?
Indianapolis, the Midwest as well.
All right, so you're in Indy, Monkeys in Florida, and then Eric, you're not in Cleveland, right? You're
I'm
in
actually in Columbus.
All right.
Yes.
So when I go down south, I'll hit you up. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Next time you're in Columbus, definitely hit me up. I'll treat you some food. I'll treat you some
Waffle
Waffle
bro.
House.
Let's go. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll make it happen. But dude, you guys are killing it. I appreciate you guys having me on. And keep rocking, dude, because I've been on a lot of podcasts and you guys are definitely thinking outside of the box and are super professional. And I love to see it. And I love talking wrestling. And it's awesome you guys are putting this out there for wrestlers and wrestling fans. So just keep rocking, dude. You guys got this. You guys are awesome. Add a great dynamic with just you three, I could tell. So when everybody's in the house, I know it's a party. So thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I hope I run into you guys on the road and I'll stay in touch.
Oh, definitely.
Will do.
Definitely. I appreciate all the kind words.
For sure. Kill it tomorrow, Eric. All right, brother. I'll talk to you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, brother.
Anytime.
All right. See you guys.
Same.
All right. And before we hop off here, I'm going to do a quick plug. If you haven't already, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. If you're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or Threads at Respect the Combat. If you're on Facebook at RTC Pod. If you're on X at RTC Podcast 1, go to our website, respectthecombat.com. Also, just because now I work for them, I'm going to have to plug them too. Well, they didn't tell me I have to, but I feel like I should. Make sure you go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com and check out all their latest content. Since it's officially past noon, we now actually have our October show now announced. Sal Win 3 is coming to Atlanta, Georgia at Center Stage. Oh! Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. The link is on the website. Make sure you go check it out. Also, if you want to go buy some NWA merch, go to NWAmerch.shop.
Get some water.
See y'all on UWO tonight.
Yep.
See y'all later.
Later.
Bye.